Okay, it's not much after 8, here less than a week before Christmas, and we've been up and going. Already got our Irish soda bread finished and out of the oven. If you want to see how I did that, I'll be posting that video today. And now we were gonna make baked donuts, and I went to get my pans that I would be just sure I had ordered from Amazon, but guess what? I hadn't ordered them, so we don't have any donut pans. But they're coming in a delivery sometime in a little while, so we'll be making those later. So we moved on, and we're going to make chocolate whoopie pies. The first thing we'll do is get the cake part put together. If you remember or saw my video, I made almond buttercream yesterday, and I still have some, and that's what we'll use to put between the two sandwiches of the chocolate whoopie pie. So we preheated our oven to 375 degrees, and we've already whisked together the dry ingredients. So we have 2 cups of plain flour, a half a cup of cocoa, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a half a teaspoon of salt, and that's whisked together and ready. So we're ready to start working on our wet ingredients. The first thing we need is brown sugar, and we're going to weigh that. When you have packed brown sugar, especially, the more accurate way to measure that is to weigh it, because then you don't have to worry about packing it, and it's a more precise amount. So I've got my mixing bowl on the scale. I've got my mixing bowl on the scale, and I'm going to scoop in brown sugar. It's set to grams. Let's make sure it's zeroed out. We need 200 grams of brown sugar. When you're weighing it, there's no packing and there's no guesswork about whether you have the right amount. Did I say 200 grams? Oh, let's see. Go. We've got our 200 grams of brown sugar. We've got our mixer over here. It's plugged in, I hope. We've got our brown sugar. We have had a half cup of buttermilk sitting out, so it's at room temperature. We're going to add that. We're using a half cup of vegetable oil. I just use like vegetable oil, not canola or anything specific. Vegetable oil, we're going to put that in. Let's see what else goes in here. Brown sugar, buttermilk, vegetable oil. We have an egg, and I'm going to do what we're not supposed to do, and I'm going to break it directly into the batter. Yay, no shell in there. An egg and our vanilla. So we're going to put in some vanilla. How much does it call for? I want to make sure. I'll put just another little bit. There we go. We've got that. And we're going to mix it until it's well blended. I'm using the paddle attachment on my mixer. You could mix this with a hand mixer. You could probably mix it by hand. It's not a stiff batter or anything. We're going to mix that 1 minute. We're going to mix that until it's well blended. It won't take long. Once we've done that, we're going to add our flour mixture. I'm just going to use this scoop and scoop it in a little bit at a time. And when that gets mixed in, then we're going to add in half a cup of hot water. I've got it sitting in the microwave. Haven't heated it yet. It doesn't need to be boiling. It just needs to be hot. So in just a minute, we will go ahead and turn that microwave on. So we're going to start adding our dry ingredients. And Sabrina's going to back up and turn the microwave on. Just about 40 seconds, maybe 30. And while she's there, she's going to get a spatula so I can scrape the sides down on this mixing bowl. So, make sure the sides are scraped down. So we've got everything from the bottom and the sides. Now we're hot. That's good. We're going to pour in our hot water. And we're just going to mix this until it's well combined. And we'll scrape it up. Turn that up one more notch. I'll get this almost completely combined, and then I'll use my spatula to finish the last to make sure we have everything combined together. All right, we'll take this pile out. One of the challenges for making whoopie pies for me is having the pieces uniform in size so that when you put them together to make a sandwich, they match. The recipe says to put it out with a cookie scoop. I think I can make it more precise by piping them into a circle. I've got silicone mats that have circles on them, but they're small. They're smaller than I really want for whoopie pies. They were designed for macarons. But I'm going to use that as a guide to help me make them into circles. So I'm going to put this batter into a piping bag, and I might pipe a couple of them without you, and I'll bring you back when I kind of get it perfected, and we'll get them piped onto the cookie sheets to get them into the 375-degree oven. After several mishaps, one cleaned off silicone sheet, some experimentation, they are not going to be exactly the same size, but they all do at least look round. So we're going to put these in the oven. I think it's, I don't remember how long, 8 to 10 minutes. Meanwhile, we'll pipe another pan, and then I'll bring you back and show you what they look like when they're done. The whoopie pie cake is out of the oven all but one pan. We've got it on cooling racks. We're letting those cool. We're going to use the ermine frosting that we made yesterday to fill these. I think we did pretty well making enough uniform sizes that we can put them together and they'll look pretty even. We'll be ready to put the icing in a little while. We want to make sure they're completely cool so that the icing doesn't melt. See you back. Hi. I know I've said before that I'm struggling a little bit with storage space on my phone. I think I've got that worked out, but still struggling a little bit. And yesterday when we were making the ermine buttercream, I ran out of storage and I had to go ahead and finish making that frosting without videoing it. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through how we finished it. We're going to use that. We used it to fill some Christmas tree cakes that I made yesterday. We're going to use it to fill some whoopie pies that I'm making this morning, and we'll still have it. I had some cake left over, and I've got that in the freezer, and I may use some of that to make some cake pops later because it'll keep for a while. I don't think we need them before Christmas. So when I left you yesterday in the video, we had taken the cooked custard and put it in a bowl, covered it with plastic wrap so that it wouldn't form a film, and left it sitting on the counter until it got absolutely to room temperature. It took about 3.5 hours for that to happen. When it did, we got our stand mixer, and in the bowl we put in 4 sticks of butter and a little bit of salt and a little bit of vanilla. And we beat that until it was all creamed together. And then we started adding that custard a couple of tablespoons at a time. And we beat it and we beat it and we beat it until we got all of that mixed in. And then we continued to beat it for another few minutes until it got light and fluffy. In a few minutes, I'm going to use some of that icing to fill some whoopie pies, and I will add some of that to this video so that you can see what it looks like. It's not very sweet, so if you're putting it between two very sweet cookies, or if you're putting it on a very sweet cake, it's a really good option. It takes longer than traditional buttercream, but it's very much worth the wait. Thank you for being patient with me. I hope you and yours are having a wonderful holiday season. Please subscribe if you haven't. Like this video. Tell me your Christmas memories. I'm interested in each of you, and I appreciate each and every one of you for the support that you've given me in this new endeavor.